Hello there everyone. Hello and welcome. Anastasia here. For those who are used to my channel, this is actually not going to be a reading. We're going to do something different. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. And normally I do not do deck reviews or unboxing videos. Usually I do readings exclusively for a Libra collective. However, this time I decided I have accumulated quite a few tarot decks and oracle decks and Lenormand and such. But today, for those who are interested, I'm going to talk about my 10 favorite tarot decks. And let me just tell you, this was very difficult to come up with 10 of them, just 10, okay? Now, I don't have like hundreds and hundreds, I don't. My collection is not that large. However, I do have a lot of decks, and I do like most of them. I simply don't get decks if I don't like them. And I thought at first I would be able to narrow it down to 5 favorite decks. But when I started looking at all of them, I was like, oh my goodness, there's no way. There's no way I can narrow it down to 5, and I could barely do 10. So let's take a look at what we've got. First of all, I wanted to show you these beautiful bags that I use for some of them. Normally I try to keep them in the original boxes just because I like to have all the supporting materials like guidebooks and things and everything, you know, in the original shape and form. But I do, especially when I travel or have to bring a deck with me, I do like to use these really cool bags. And I actually bought these on Amazon. They come in all different colors, and I think there's a black one, purple one, red one, green one, and a black one. Okay, so I'm just showing you the 3 I have here. Anyway, let's get started. And I do not have these decks ranked from 1 to 10 or from 10 to 1. So they're all my favorite, and I'm just going to start with the one I purchased for the very first time, and that was the Light Seers tarot deck. So let me put these away. Now, the very first deck I ever got to learn was the classic Rider-Waite-Smith deck, I think. So here's the Light Seers. I'm sure you know this deck. I'm not going to go over this in depth, but this is one of my very first favorite decks. This is the one I fell in love with at first, okay? And I have actually several copies of this. This one is not even the one I use all the time. It's the newer copy. But they're pretty affordable now. You can buy them anywhere. Amazon, Hay House, a lot of stores offer it. Anyway, you know this deck. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, a brief demonstration. The box is pretty sturdy. I love the slim size. I actually do prefer these kind of boxes. I also like the shape of and the size of these cards a lot. They shuffle like a dream. I, unlike many tarot readers, do like the paper feel of these cards. I like my cards to be more on a natural side. I don't like them plasticky. I don't like them shiny very much. I like them to be bendy, but not too much. And also, I love it when the deck feel is like more natural, papery, okay? Like a very nice greeting card. Okay, so you know this deck. It is very straightforward, actually. The guidebook is awesome. I love Kaczan's work. I have most of her decks. I think I have all of them. But the colors are just vibrant, and this High Priestess is one of my favorite cards ever. Absolutely love it. Just, you know, most of these cards resonate with me so much. Love the 8 of Swords. This Devil, yeah, good looking devil. Okay, so yeah, I have done many readings with these cards, and when I do, you know, every now and then I do personal readings for people on demand, and I prefer to use these or another deck I'm going to show later. So everybody's familiar with this one. Okay. All right. Not going to stop on this one for very long. Let's move forward. But once again, it's the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. And I think Hay House runs so many sales anymore. You can buy it at a very good price. Okay. The second deck I think I kind of fell in love with is this AstroMatrix Tarot. Now, when I first started using this tarot, it spoke to me so much. Like it was just, I received so many revelations using this tarot deck. And it actually has an app, a very useful app you can download and subscribe. I think it's $14 or $15 per year. And you can build your astro chart and look at all of your planets and their signs and their positions, and also descriptions of every card. And also they talk about on the app about, what it means when your planet is in such and such sign. Okay, so it's very useful to learn those things. So love the Phoenix on the box. They have the barcode here for the app. Now, the backs of them they're not that great, the backs, but what do I have here? Are they upside down? Okay. But the cards are very vibrant. The feel, I would say there's some kind of smooth, I don't know how to describe the feel. It's not glossy, it's matte, but it's smooth. So it doesn't cause a problem when shuffling. They don't stick to each other. They still have that natural kind of paper feel to them a little bit too. So they're not like plasticky where they slide off and go in all directions either. And once again, I really, really enjoy bright colors. I just adore bright colors. The rainbow speaks to me all the time. So yeah, these cards, and as you can see, there's an astrological association or the elements. You can learn quite a bit from this deck here. And yeah, love it. I love it. Look at this. Goddess Kali as the death card. And I do my full moon and new moon readings using these cards a lot of times. I just love to see the astrological associations here. Okay, so yeah, beautiful temperance card. So check it out if you're not familiar with this deck, but I like it very close to Rider-Waite-Smith and such, so it's very easy to read. Okay, wonderful. All right, let's put this aside. Once again, it's the AstroMatrix Tarot deck. Okay, love it, love it, love it. What's next? The next one I'm going to cover is the Gilded Royale Tarot by Ciro Marchetti. Sorry if I'm butchering it, but most of you are also familiar with this deck. It's by Llewellyn. The art is different, but I really like the images. Really speak to me. And as you know, all these decks come with really big boxes. All of the Llewellyn's older kind of, not older, but their main line of cards come with these big boxes. Okay, so here are the backs. They're not really glossy, maybe a tiny bit. Maybe there's a tiny bit of gloss, but not like super high gloss, and you don't see any thumbprints or anything. That's what I don't like, is when I can see the thumbprints on cards, then that's when you know, it just kind of feels cheap to me. Okay, so this was, I want to say, my third favorite deck. Chronologically speaking, I want to say. The third deck I kind of really connected with, and it is also very close to RWS, so no problem interpreting this deck. And if you are familiar with Ciro Marchetti's work, that's his style, and that's actually my favorite out of all the decks that he has. I have maybe 3 or 4 of his decks, and this is my favorite. The other ones just don't impress me as much. I don't know. They just don't speak to me. They're missing something. But this one really does speak to me quite a bit. And beautiful Empress right there. Gorgeous colors, very bright. 6 of Wands. Now the Moon. The style of it is almost like the steampunk, maybe? I do like this Hanged Man. It's one of the few cards that depicts the man losing some coins coming out of his pockets. So interesting. And then we have, let's see, there's the Death card. I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with this deck. I think this is one of my favorite cards in here, 9 of Pentacles. The Justice is awesome. The Magician is great. So, yeah. You know this deck. You've seen it many times. Oh, yes. And absolutely the Strength card. Love it, love it. Okay. Okay, another deck I really enjoy. And I do like the witchy themed decks. I don't practice witchcraft at all. I don't do spells and things like that. I'm just not into it. But I do like the witchy themed cards. I really do. A lot of green. I love a lot of green in the cards. A lot of natural themes. They're very earthy, and that's what I like about them. And so this one is one of my favorites, and I actually used it recently. It's in a reading. The Secrets of Witch's Garden, or the Tarot of the Witch's Garden. And the book is in color, beautiful Llewellyn book, very thick. I do love the descriptions here, so very nice thick book. Once again, the usual box for Llewellyn. And here are the cards. I keep them a lot of times in the special green velvet bag. By the way, this velvet bag has the golden silk inside, and I just love it. Okay, so these cards are worn a little bit because I use them so much. And also, these are... Ooh, weird. I just felt like breeze come through my feet. Really strong breeze. And mind you, I'm sitting downstairs. All the windows are closed. The AC is not on. It hasn't turned on in a while. That was weird. Somebody must be here with me. Okay, maybe they approve of this deck. Okay, so this deck is very accurate for me. It has this linen feel to it, which I absolutely like. So it has like tiny little grid. I don't know if you can actually, if the camera can pick it up, but I'm sure you're familiar with this deck as well. Okay, beautiful backings, green color. Love all the themes. The blue colors in this deck are out of this world. Okay, the Queen of Swords. I mean, look how gorgeous this is. The blue color, absolutely wonderful. The Hierophant, I love this card. So yeah, the Justice card, also amazing. Wow. Okay, so look at all this blue. Really, really vibrant. I love vibrant cards. I say this every time. I love colors. Okay, they speak to me. It's like color therapy or something. The Nine of Cups is okay. I'm really picky about the Nine of Cups. I need to really feel good about the Nine of Cups that I receive. And the mermaid coming out from underneath the bridge is kind of weird. So I'm not sure about it. Especially all the murky water and stuff. But hey, if she's got my wish in her hand, delivering it to me, I'm good. So, the Fool card is beautiful as well. The Judgment is wonderful. So yeah, oh, look at this Four of Pentacles. He's like carved out of stone. So you know he's been sitting there with all his pentacles for a while. The Two of Cups. Look at the Moon. Yeah, so this is a beautiful deck. If you decide to buy this, the Ace of Cups. Woo! Oh my gosh, the Strength. Yes, yes, yes. So I love this card, this deck quite a bit. Even the Three of Swords is like I love it. Okay, so that's it for this deck. Let me know if you have it and if you like it. Oh, the Sun card is beautiful too. Okay, so, and then the Seven of Cups is gorgeous. The Ten of Cups, Pentacles is gorgeous. So the Wheel of Fortune is beautiful. So all of these cards really resonate with me. That's about it. Okay, so this is one of the US Games decks that I purchased also a while back. Had it for a while, and the reason I like it so much, it really surprised me. It is Slavic base, like Slavic themed art, and because I have Slavic background, this really speaks to me. So it may not speak to everyone, but it really, I love it. Okay, the art is by Mila Losenko, and yeah, beautiful. And I think these are like watercolors. Once again, I love the box. I actually love the size of these cards and the shape of them. They're a little longer than standard tarot size, and they have maybe a slight like sheen to them, but not really glossy. They're just kind of smooth. They're very smooth, and once again, they're not plasticky at all, but they do slide quite a bit. So they shuffle very, very easy. Beautiful deck to shuffle. The backings, they're just absolutely beautiful. I love yellow. It cheers me up and reminds me of sunshine, the Sun card, and and we have the Moon card. So I'll show you a few cards in case you're not familiar with this particular deck. The Moon, the Ace of Cups. I love this card. Absolutely beautiful. The art is fantastic. The Star, fabulous. Even the Hanged Man is actually under the water. Okay. Six of Wheels. The wheels are pentacles in this deck. Here's the Devil. Three of Wands. Chariot. Beautiful Four of Wands. Even the Ten of Wands. Look at the beautiful colors. The purples and everything. Yeah. Oh, look at the Judgment. Absolutely gorgeous here. Ten of Cups. Love it. The World card is interesting because it's different from what we're used to. It almost shows like multicultural aspect, and the big tree here, and the seasons, different seasons as well. The Tower, look at that. Definitely a gorgeous deck. The Nine of Wheels is fantastic. Woo! I just love it. Okay, let me know what you think about this deck. I love it. The Four of Swords card is one of my favorites as well, with the poppies. The High Priestess is also cool here with the owl and the keys in her hand. Just beautiful. Okay, now the booklet that comes with it is very small, but you know, it's the little white book, no pictures, nothing, but it does have a basic description and upright and reversed meanings, so that is helpful. Not much depth to the guidebook, but anyway, that's the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. The next deck I'm going to show is actually in this ugly little tin, and the reason it's in this tin is because I got it on eBay. This is actually the Eastern Ink Tarot. It's a Chinese deck translated. It has English translations. It is very expensive. I think you can purchase it now on Etsy, but you can also purchase it on www.a-tarot.com. So it has to be shipped, I believe, from overseas. It is quite a bit of money to purchase it in the original box. There's two versions. There's this regular one with the regular cards that are not gilded. Okay, and then there's another version, I believe, with the gilded cards, and there's additional stuff in the box. Both of these come in very nice boxes, but I don't have the original box because, like I said, I saw this deck on eBay and it was like $20 or $25 that the guy was selling it for, and I was like, that's a steal, because all I really care about is is the cards, really, and they're in perfect condition. And then this deck usually runs for at least 100. Okay, has Chinese, and then it has the English translation on the other half of the book, so the book is like split in two. Okay, and somebody really took care and put the cards in this tin and even put a label on there. So this is how I received it. But for $25, I was happy with this. So here's the little box. We're gonna put it aside. They are a little glossy, but that doesn't bother me. Like I said, I was just really happy to have this deck. The cardstock in this particular version is, papery with a little bit of gloss. But once again, I like the natural paper feel, like the greeting card feel. Okay, absolutely adore the backs. I mean, beautiful watercolors. Again, watercolors, beautiful blues, and I Ching coins over here. And the whole reason I even got this deck is because I got into I Ching. I started learning about I Ching more, and that was fascinating to me. And then I kind of completely unexpectedly ran across this tarot deck on some website, and so of course I couldn't resist. So we have the Chinese title here, and then we have the English. Both titles are on here. But look at this color. Look at the colors. Beautiful illustrations. Just gorgeous. I absolutely love this deck. Very accurate. Very easy to understand. Ace of Swords. There are like dragons in here. I think, yes, a few. Nine of Swords. The Magician is interesting here. Very different depiction of the Magician. The Temperance. Two of Wands. They're not pippish at all. They're just like, I don't like pip decks. I prefer to have the whole scenery. Beautiful death card. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Okay, so I'm just going to show a few cards here in case you want to see and interested. And yes, so I'm sure there are deck reviews. There are reviews on YouTube available for this deck. Beautiful, the World card here. So check it out if you're interested. Two of Cups, Six of Pentacles. It does follow Rider-Waite-Smith pretty closely. Here's some dragons. The Justice with the dragon. So yes, very nice, beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous deck. And here's the High Priestess. So love it, love it. The Hanged Man or Woman, the Chariot, or two dragons. How awesome is that? Okay, so this is the quick review of this particular deck. I like it so much. Like I said, I can't really rank these. I am not capable of ranking these because I just like them so much, all these tarot decks and different art styles, and it's very difficult for me to rank. I lost count of how many decks I already showed you, but let's move on to Good Fortune Tarot. Now this is my most recent acquisition. A few months back I bought this one, and honestly, when I looked at YouTube flip throughs, I liked the art, but it just didn't seem like, it seemed very simple, the art. I like a more intricate design. However, something kept telling me, buy this deck. Buy it. Maybe the name, Good Fortune Tarot. It's by Jessica Roux. Now, I own another deck, Oracle deck by Jessica Roux. One of our daughters, she's very artistic and she loves that deck. Here's what I'm talking about. It's the Woodlands Wardens by Jessica Roux. And, it's very earthy, very natural feeling. She just loves the illustrations here. And I thought, I want to check out a tarot deck by her as well, because I love these two. So, and that's why basically I got the Good Tarot deck here. I didn't really have high expectations, to be honest. I don't know why. But when I received this and started using it, oh my goodness, it was one of those revealing decks. Like, it gave me so many answers. I go through these stages where like certain decks speak to me on a different level, and then I uncover some other truth that I didn't understand before. And this was one of those decks. And, the book is by Barbara Moore, so it's really nice. And now all of their books are in color. Huge images here take up the whole page. And I think, this reminds me of the B Tarot I'm going to talk about later. But yes, so I think this was actually, that's funny because I purchased the B Tarot first and I loved it so much. And when I looked at this Ace of Wands, it reminded me of the B Tarot, and I was like, okay, I have to have this. I think this is the card that sold me on this deck. Okay, so let's take a look at the cards. They're not here. I have them in a special bag. So here's the bag I keep them in for right now. And yes, I color coordinate a lot of things. So blue, yep. So as you can see already, right away, I liked the backs of these cards. The bees spoke to me. For those of you who know a little bit about me, I'm crazy about bees. At least they give me really lucky messages. So they are my lucky sign. Okay, so we have the blue, nice blue background. This is a very good cardstock for me, at least. People say it's thin, and it's on a thinner side. However, I've used this deck quite a lot, and I don't see any scuffs or damages. Linen cardstock, very bright, vibrant colors, a little bit of gloss, or sheen, or whatever you want to call it. But when you see them in person, there's a lot of detail to these cards. There are a lot of little thin lines you don't really see on YouTube. The camera doesn't just quite pick up the depth and the art detail, so it's really hard to describe, but they are absolutely beautiful. For example, look at this Justice card. Just gorgeous. The hair, how it hangs on the side, and yeah. So the colors, they're earthy, they're not too bright. And then the 10 of Wands, I really appreciated this card because he's working hard, and yes, he has a lot of his to-do list, but this is the work he loves doing in this card. It's not a burden, it's more like he's doing it with love. Anyway, this deck speaks to me quite a bit. 9 of Cups, beautiful. I love when there's the what I call genie lamp and 9 of Cups cards. I love it when the genie lamp shows up. I have quite a few decks where the genie lamp shows up, and I love it when it does. Even the 3 of Swords card is like, oh my gosh, the cracks in the heart, just like, and the water, the way it's depicted here, just the waves, it's hard to describe on camera, it's hard for camera to pick up these details. But yeah, so if you are contemplating getting this deck, I would. And the guidebook is amazing. I also received a lot of new input, new insight from the guidebook. Just some cards have a different way to look at things. Like they talk about a slightly different way of looking at things, which I really appreciate. Nine of Pentacles, beautiful. So yeah, check out other videos from other YouTubers. They post the whole review. I'm just showing briefly a few cards, and look at this Two of Cups. I mean, you could interpret it many different ways. Romantic or business partnership, both are in here, okay? So, yeah. Nine of Wands, beautiful. And there's like animals here, which I also love. I love that Jessica, the artist, how she depicts the animals. And it's just really earthy, really natural looking and feeling. The Hanged Man has a heart with a like a keyhole, and then there's a key. The mouse has a key. So, you know, there's a lot of different symbols and messages you can pick up from these cards. Love the Queen of Cups. So beautiful. The Four of Pentacles is also very nice. This card reminds me of an oracle card, All That Glitters, from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Look at the beautiful sunset here. Or is it sunrise? I don't know, but just the colors are amazing. Okay, so that's it. That's one of my favorite decks as well. Beautiful High Priestess. I know I'm taking more and more time with each deck, I feel like. And it's not because I like them more. It's just I feel like the Light Seers has been around for quite a long time and people know it more. The very first deck I showed. But anyway, yeah, check them out. Beautiful cards. Okay, so shuffles once again. Like a dream. Like my dream. Let's close it up. The next is the Bee Tarot by Kristoffer Hughes and art by Nadia Turner. One of my favorite decks as well. I don't think I have it in a special bag, do I? I do have it in a special bag. I don't think they have a golden bag like this, so I had to get a red one. I'm not crazy about the bright red color, but I would rather have a nice gold, or yellow, but this will do. Anyway, here's the book. Once again, Llewellyn, huge box, but a nice one. There's like glossy images in the back. Beautiful. I absolutely love the color theme here. This is the orangish kind of warm yellows. It just gives me this warmth and sweetness, the feeling of like honey and toast and honey. You know how you spread butter on toast and then put honey on top? If you've never tried that, do it. I'm getting carried away. You know, the same kind of Llewellyn, beautiful book. Beautiful illustrations, all in color. Very good quality book. I mean, this book is amazing. And it talks about beekeeping in this book, which I had zero idea about. Never raised bees. Never was interested in that. Yes, they are my lucky sign, but I got stung really bad when I was little by a bee, and I think for a while there I was really scared of them until very recently when they started showing up for me as a synchronicity. So anyway, here's the box. Let's put that away. Blah blah blah. So much talking. Okay, once again, linen cardstock. Can you tell I like linen cardstock? I think you can by now. I just love it. I mean, they bend so well. They feel so good in your hands. I know there are people who don't appreciate it, but I really like this. Okay, look at the backs. Oh my goodness. Warm and fuzzy feeling, even though they're bees. Yes, so beautiful colors. So yes, as you guessed it, there's all kinds of bees and wasps in this deck. So even the court cards are bees and wasps. But very diverse as well. Very diverse. The star. This, I love this card. The Six of Jars. Such a homey feel to it. Like the country kitchen here depicted. Oh, just makes me think of summer house, even though I don't have one and never had one. But it just makes me feel like I'm on vacation someplace, visiting my home in the countryside, and there's a lake close by, and then there's bees in the backyard. I don't know. It's my dreams, I guess. 10 of Wands. Yeah, so, you know, gorgeous colors. Love this 10 of Pentacles. Reminds me of Christmas, obviously. There's like the winter theme. Okay, so love this Ace of Jars. Just speaks of abundance. The honey just dripping, just so much honey, you know. 8 of Swords. This is the Strength. And I like that the book describes what's happening in each card, just like most of these Llewellyn guidebooks. They have that description. Love this card as well. The 3 of Pentacles. That stained glass is gorgeous. Love this 8 of Wands. The flowers, oh my goodness, just that color scheme here, just the honeymoon. This is supposed to be the Lovers card. They're up to something there. Anyway, let's see. Oh yes, Rebirth. So this is supposed to be, according to the booklet, this is supposed to be the bee, the queen bee, a new queen bee being born. Now I'm just saying what the booklet says here, but yeah. Anyway, I don't mean to hurry through these images. As I always say, I don't do deck reviews normally, so forgive me if I'm rushing through this or if I'm not explaining things. This is not my forte. This is not my specialty. I'm just showing you what I love in case you're interested. If you're not interested, you probably already finished this video and said, I have better things to do. Anyway, Ace of Pentacles. Look at that. The Emperor. It's okay. The Emperor is okay here. It makes me a little anxious with all the bees in his beard. Let's just say that, okay? The Wheel of Fortune. It kind of reminds me of seasonal changes happening. Okay, so there are lots of different colors, very earthy. Ooh, the Justice card. Getting stunned. It's like karma or something. Or be careful who you're dealing with. You know what I mean? The Magician is beautiful. The Empress is gorgeous. Okay, I need to like... Oh my gosh, the Tower card also. So when I first got this deck, I was like, oh, I couldn't put it down. I couldn't put it down, just like a lot of the decks that I really love. You know, when you get a deck that you really love and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is it. Okay. Oh my goodness, the 6 of Pentacles, right? So this is the Bee Tarot, my favorite sun card, probably out of all of them that I've ever seen. This is probably my favorite sun card. I just love sunflowers, and as a kid, our neighbors had big sunflowers in our yard, which I lived in the city, so it was interesting to see sunflowers in like down below by the apartment block, and they were like full of seeds all the time in summer, and we would always ask to have some, and you fry them and then you just eat them outside, and I just love it. Anyway, beautiful deck. Okay, let me know if you have this one or if you like it or if it speaks to you or not. Okay, next up, and I think this is number 9 because I think I only have one left. This is the Dark Mansion Tarot, and yes, I have 2 different versions, and yes, I spoiled myself. These were purchased on 2 different birthdays because I first purchased the matte one, loved it, loved everything about it, and you know, my birthday is in October, so it's really close to Halloween, so it had to be the theme. This is a hard to get deck because it's from Poland. I'm sure you know who are tarot enthusiasts. But if you don't, this comes from Poland and it takes forever to ship. Okay. And I'm always nervous ordering from overseas because you never know. Customs, when the things go through customs, and then the packages can get broken into and stolen, and it's just tough sometimes. But these were delivered in perfect condition. Now, one of them I purchased from the Taroteka, which is www.taroteka.com. That's the Polish publisher, I think. And then the other I purchased from a US-based store called Tarot Arts. And that one ships really fast. Now, I don't know which one's which, but basically, I think I purchased this one first. Beautiful box. It feels like rose petals. It feels like rose petals. It feels rich. And when I first got a hold of this deck, I was like, oh, like I felt so special just holding this box. Like, oh my gosh. Goosebumps. You know what I mean? Okay, let's talk about these decks because they're a little different. Very different from each other, in fact. Same art, but different feel, different experience. You would think it would be the same, but no, very different experiences. This one is, as you can see, glossy. This one is matte. So let me explain what I mean by that. So the same box, but this one has the black background with the stars and the moon and sun and everything. So beautiful. And then this one is more of like a book feel, like a very rich leather-bound book feel with a gem in the middle. And I love both of them. I don't know which one I like better. Do I like the gloss? Not particularly. However, it is much, much, much easier to shuffle than this deck, which I had a lot of trouble with. And I was even upset at first because I got this one first. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot work with this deck because, I like the jumpers. I read by shuffling my cards, and then whatever jumps out, that's the card I need to read. But I couldn't do it very well with this deck, so I had to get this one. So you can see that this one has golden edging. And I'm sure you have seen these decks too. It's not like I'm showing some really rare decks. But this one is, I would say, less mass produced. So the art is so whimsical. It is so bright. It is so detailed. I love the details. I could stare at them for like a long time and just look at all the different things in each card. Like, look at this Four of Wands. Like, I don't even know. I don't have words to describe. It's like watching a cartoon. The whole story just unfolds, and it's very active. It feels like they're talking, The Moon card is so mysterious. Yes. The Sun card is interesting. I still need to understand if that's an actual book here. It says Le Voyage à Travailler, something maybe, L'Impossible. So, impossible voyage, blah, blah. I'm not sure. But it's an interesting interpretation. The only thing that I don't like about these decks is there's no guidebook. Yeah. But, if you're an experienced tarot reader, you don't need one really. And these are pretty self-explanatory, most of these cards. But look at this devil. My goodness. Look at the detail. I don't even know if I'm zoomed in close enough for you to see everything. And I'm sure you have seen this deck as well. So if you're bored watching this, fast forward to my last deck on this list. But this is one of my favorite cards here. And even the Three of Swords. My goodness. A locket with hair and like a relationship that's now history, but it stays in your memory. Anyway, this one reminds me of the Ebenezer Scrooge. Is that his name? The story of Ebenezer Scrooge. The Hermit is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Oh, the Queen of Cups. I just can't. The King of Swords. Oh my gosh. The Nine of Pentacles. Every card in this deck is a masterpiece. Look at this. Makes me hungry just looking at all the fruits and desserts and the King of Pentacles with his castle in the back. Like, dude. Okay, so yes, they're very vibrant colors. I love that you can see the depth in these cards. And that's the Emperor here. The Fool is funny because it's an actual like like a clown type of a fool, you know. Look at this 10 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Anyway, you know this deck probably, so I'm not going to show you everything. There, if you are interested, once again, this is the Dark Mansion Tarot. Look it up. There's probably other YouTubers posting full-blown reviews of this. The only thing I'm going to mention is that I cannot decide which deck I like better, which version I like better, because I love the backs of both of them. What I love about this deck is that it shuffles like a dream. Like this one, I've used this many times, so it's now easier. They became less sticky over time. So a tip for you if you want to get this one is you have to just like watch TV and shuffle these so that they loosen up a bit. Otherwise, they were stuck together the first time I tried, like stuck together. This one obviously is looking a lot more plasticky, thinner, plasticky. So, you know, in my hands, it doesn't feel very natural. I don't like the feel of them as much, and they're very glossy. However, they slide and they shuffle like butter. I mean, look at that. And that golden edging is like dream. Okay. And the beautiful gem in the middle. I still to this day do not know which one I like better. And if you compare them next to each other, sometimes the gloss can take away the intensity of the color, but I don't think that this gloss affected the cards as much. I think they're still just as vibrant as this deck. If you compare, they're the same vibrancy, you know. Anyway, this is it. My favorite decks to use for Halloween. And the last but not the least is by Claire Goodchild. I ran into Claire Goodchild's art absolutely accidentally in a Barnes & Noble store. And this deck is very different. It's a little more difficult to read because it doesn't follow the RWS system as much, as in the images don't. But there's something special about this deck. And I want to show it to you in case you are not aware of it. Claire Goodchild mainly produces decks for ancestor reading, for mediumship and things like that. Most of her decks are Oracle on her website. But this one was in Barnes & Noble. And look at this gorgeous book. I don't know. Like, not everybody will be into this theme. But I love all the anatomy in this book. I love it. And when I have any sort of health, if I need to do a reading about health, I actually tend to use this deck a lot. It speaks to me of different body parts. It's really fascinating, actually. She's got some spreads here and then description for each card. Beautiful illustrations. This is just, I mean, it just feels special, like you are, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, look at this. And just even looking at it makes me feel like mysterious and makes me want to do an ancestor reading. Okay, so anyway, this is the book. This is the book, and this is the box. Oh, there's flowers on the sides. Can you see that? Oh my gosh, there's flowers on the sides. This is just gorgeous. There's another deck I love that is very flowery or herbal. Actually, I don't know why I didn't bring it out. I only had to choose 10, okay? And I could barely decide. But there's another herbal deck I really love. I'm going to show it in a bit. I'll go get it. I can't skip it, okay? So these are the cards. They are pippish. Okay, they're not gonna have the whole scene for you here. They're pippish, so it's a little more challenging to read these. But they do have descriptions on the bottles, and this is the 4 of the elixirs or 4 of cups, and you have the. I don't know if YouTube will allow me to read these out loud, the titles on the bottles, but they're basically all the like drugs that will make you sleepy, or like not sleepy, but mostly like apathetic, numb you down a bit. So like used for depression or whatever, pain, Anyway, you get my point, right? Then we have the 8 of cups here, or cleanse, despair, letting go, potion. It gives you ideas. You can still read this. This is 4 of coins. Okay, so this is kind of the theme for this deck. Not everybody's into this stuff, and I just love the. I don't know. I love the illustrations. Something about this deck. It's also like the time of the Halloween and post-Halloween, when you do these like mysterious ancestor readings. I don't really do many of them, especially not on YouTube. I just kind of mess around with them myself. I'm not really like an expert on mediumship or anything. So I'm just kind of still learning about all that. So yeah, the world like depicts the whole body, or even other bones here from other creatures. So it is an interesting deck. It stirs something in me. It makes me like, you have to read this intuitively. Love potion, bliss elixir, joy tonic for the 3 of cups, and I love the colors. And can I just mention to you that I absolutely adore the backs, and then also the feel of them. They are a little bit, they're smooth, so they glide really well, but they're not really very glossy. They're kind of like have a little sheen just so that they can slide better. But I love the way that they feel like old paper. They look and feel like old paper, very natural, like you are reading an old book or something, an old recipe book or some kind of like old manuscripts or something. I don't know. It just makes me feel like I'm opening a history book and trying to figure out a mystery from the past. Just very mysterious. I love this. It gives me that. That's it. It gives me that mysterious feel when I read with these cards. So it's not for daily use, but it's when you feel in the mood. Okay. Okay. They shuffle also really well. They're really thick, so they will last a long time. What do you think about this deck? I have also Oracle decks that I purchased from her main website and that go along with this deck, and they are interesting also. They are very unique and interesting. So it's all in your hands, it says. So the Antique Anatomy Tarot. This is the Antique Anatomy Tarot, by the way, if I haven't pronounced its name, by Claire Goodchild. And here's the last deck I wanted to kind of mention. Also, number 11. So see, I can't even make it 10. I can't limit it to 10. Okay. I have to mention it though, because this was a very different deck in my repertoire. Let's just say that. Herbcrafters Tarot. I am not an herb crafter. I don't know much about herbs. I didn't. I'm learning slowly. I had this interest in herbs, and I actually use a lot of herbal supplements, and I think that's why this deck called to me, but also the art. There's something about the floral art. And the box is beautiful, and I think I've read with this deck once or twice. And the colors are gorgeous, and I'm a sucker for colors, so that's why it called to me. The book is in, it's black and white. It's not that small. It's a decent sized book. It does talk about each herb. Not in detail though. I would like a little bit more information on each herb. Like it talks about the description on each card, but it doesn't describe exactly what each herb is used for in depth, which I would really like that. But I have another deck for that, an oracle deck that I like to use. The herbal astrology, my herbal astrology deck that I like to use with this. And you know, it's this one. A wonderful oracle deck. I mean, herbs and astrology and oracle together. What else do you need in life? Okay, so this deck comes in this wonderful green box. Once again, beautiful illustrations too. So I can't believe I couldn't limit to 10. Come on, Anastasia. Anyway, look at the backs. Oh my gosh. The flowers, butterflies, everything, herbs, just the whole array. Love it. So inviting, so homey. The Hermit. I have to admit, it's very difficult to read with this deck for me. I don't know all the herbs. The first time I used it, I was challenged. But I have now used this deck quite a bit, so I kind of know the meanings of cards now after reading things from the booklet. But, you know, like the scythe, obviously, this and the motherwort. So, you know, you have to kind of read the booklet to understand what the meanings of each cards are. Like this is the mother, I think, the queen of air. Anyway, the Hermit and like the Christmas wreath, and makes me think of like protecting your boundaries with the quartz and kind of going within, light from within, you know. I don't know. There's all kinds of, you can interpret whichever way you want it. High Priestess, Mugwort. And I've learned over time about these herbs, and it makes sense now. At first I was like, I don't know what that is. But as I've used this and the herbal astrology, which has even more information, this one is really helpful to also read while you are using this deck as well. Marigold, obviously that's used a lot with the like the Day of the Dead traditions and things like that. Okay, so it's St. John's wort. This is actually the herb I used to take. I was going through a hard time a few years back, and my mood was down, and I was just always feeling blue. And I started researching what will, you know, help your mood, and what can you do to kind of be more vital and feel better. And that's one of the things I tried, and it's helpful. So could be a supplement for depression, but like I said, I'm not a medical professional at all, so just read about it. St. John's wort for good mood. That's why it says the sun. For positivity. Can't think of the other one I was actually taking. I was actually taking the other one more than this one. Anyway, the Fool, Dandelion, California Poppy. Okay, so you know, there's all kinds of herbs and fruits, I think, and berries in here, and hawthorn here. And it is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. Makes you feel cozy, makes you feel warm inside. Valerian roots. For the 8 of water, absolutely. You know, chamomile. Yeah, same thing. So, once again, the sunflower, I love the sunflower. No matter what you use it for, I love the sunflower. This is the magician giving you the power to take action, depicting kind of like the sun and the little tools here. Okay, the cacao, or the cacao ceremony, which is very spiritual ceremony, okay, of initiation. I think a lot of times spiritual initiation. So this is also, I had to read about. The Empress is one of my favorite cards in this deck. I mean, who doesn't like that? So yes, that's the World card. Love this one as well. And I don't know, check it out. Look into it if you are into this kind of thing, herbs and such. Maybe good for like spells as well, which I'm not into, but you never know. Okay, all right, that's it. I think this is, we'll call it an extra, the Herbcrafters Tarot. And I'm sorry, I didn't read all the artists' names on these decks. I'm sorry. But I thank you for watching this video painstakingly and seeing all the decks that I love to use. Leave me a comment if you like one more than the other. Which one's your favorite out of this list? Do you use any of them? Just anything you want to share, a comment on, or maybe you don't like one of these. Maybe what do you dislike about this deck? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. As always, sending you all very many blessings, and I will catch you later. Bye.